The top stories for the hour. Hanna Almazahad, who says Ethiopians have a lot common collectively than that separates. And FAO encouraged nations to follow Ethiopians' footstep to tackle impact of climate change. Hello and welcome to EBC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism. I am Magdala Wasiyum with the daily updates. And now moving on to the news. Ethiopian Airlines receives the Starwide Award SWA 2024 and the Efficient Service Provider Government Organization Sector of the Year through public voting and recognition of its outstanding performance and commitment. The award certifies that Ethiopian has demonstrated exceptional skill and dedication. During the award ceremony, Group CEO Mesfin Tasso expressed that this award not only brings joy but also motivates the airliner to strive for greater heights. Ethiopia has officially joined the World Skill as a full member, receiving its membership certificate recently. Minister of Labor and Skills Mufariat Kamil announced that Ethiopia is now the 88th country to achieve this status. She emphasized the advantage of membership in World Skills on her social media platform. According to the minister, Mufariat, this membership will facilitate industrial collaboration with various countries and encourage the exchange of knowledge and experience related to skill development. She highlighted that gaining insights into diverse political, economic and social framework will foster an environment conducive to significant improvements in the skill sector, enabling Ethiopia to align with global standards of excellence in skill training. Ambassador Gannet Tashoma, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the Russian Federation, presented his letter of credential to Bogdanov Mikhail Levondovich, the Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Russian Federation and the Special Advisor of President Vladimir Putin for the Middle East and Africa, on Thursday, September 12, 2024. On the occasion, Ambassador Gannet conveyed greetings and good wishes message from Sahle-Work Zewde, President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, to the Russian President Vladimir Putin, and greeting message from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Taye Asqeselase, to the Deputy Minister. They also discussed on the relationship between the two friendly countries that have crossed 126 years and on the current national and regional issues, according to the Ethiopian embassy in the Moscow. At the same time, Ambassador Gannet expressed his gratitude and appreciation to the government and the people of Russia Federation for the welcome, according to him. Deputy Minister Bogdanov, on his part, conveyed a welcome message to Ambassador Gannet and said that the necessary support and cooperation will be given to him and his effort to further strengthen the relation between the two friendly countries and enhance mutual benefit. As Ethiopia welcomes the new year, foreign nationals extended their warm greeting, hoping that the new year will mark that Ethiopia to accomplish its national goals and move forward towards a brighter future. They expressed their optimism that the coming year will bring peace, prosperity and fulfillment to Ethiopians' aspirations.
Well, I would like to use this opportunity to wish you a happy new year, happy Ethiopian new year. This is my first Ethiopian new year in the country as ambassador designate of Denmark, and I'm looking forward to the celebrations.
I want to say a Happy New Year in advance to Ethiopians as they celebrate. The New Year actually is really great because it falls even closer also to the planting season, so which means it is an opportunity to also have that thanks and be proud of what the people have achieved, even for what we are discussing today on the GLI.
Hannah Almas, granddaughter of the legendary Ethiopian journalist Ahadu Sabure, shares her unique experience of growing in a multicultural family, navigating two worlds and keeping her grandfather's legacy alive. She is half Finnish and half Ethiopian, and as a person born and raised in multicultural family, she shared her experience for the world in general and the Ethiopians in particular. Our staff reporter Johannes Fentahun approached her and produced the following one-person story. We'll hear Hannah's blend of Finnish, Chinese, and Ethiopian heritage shared her expensive.
My name is Hannah. My Chinese name is Shan Shan. I am half Ethiopian, half Finnish. My father is from Ethiopia. My mom is from Finland, but grew up in America, which is why I have such an American accent. I was born and raised in Beijing, so I spent 17 years of my life in China. I went to an international school called Western Academy of Beijing. My grandfather, his name is Ahadu Sabure. He was a famous journalist here in Ethiopia. And he was a really beautiful soul. I didn't really know that he was as famous as he was until after he passed away, because he was incredibly humble and he was incredibly kind. A little about me: I'm an artist, I'm a painter, as we can see. I'm also a writer. I'm actually working on my first book right now. I'm an educator. I teach small children, and I'm also a tutor and a translator. Even though I lived in China, I had basically like a United Nations in my house every day. You know, my mom, she's Finnish, but she has friends from all over the place. My father, he started a football team called Africa United in Beijing during his time there. So players from all over the continent, players from different parts of the world, not just Africa, playing at an excellent, very high level, semi-professional football. So my uncles were from all over the place, you know, and they were also very involved in creating a reggae music scene in Beijing. So I had a very colorful, interesting childhood, and I think it created me into the person I am today, so I'm very thankful for it. People are surprised sometimes when I say that the transition between China and Ethiopia was not difficult for me. I mean, there are challenges in everything you do in life, but we have so much in common as cultures. The first thing being that we're very tight-knit, like our communities are tight. Our neighbors tend to know each other. I mean, the woman on my corner always asks me where I'm going when I leave my house, you know, and I've learned to really love that because it's how it was in China too. Like, we're invested in each other, we're invested in our shared futures together, and I think that's a really beautiful thing because we see a lot of individualism here in our 21st century world with our phones and everything like that. So it's really important to remember that that's what made us what we are. The other thing is that we're very ancient cultures. We talked about that. A lot of the speeches today touched on that. We both have very long histories. We had dynasties, we had emperors, we have that in common. And you know, like civilizations on the river, someone mentioned that. I thought that was a really interesting point. It's true. And yeah, so the ancientness of our culture, I think it also adds to the strength of our people, the resilience, because in order to be an ancient culture, you have to have withstood a lot, right? And you have to have survived a lot. How many empires have fallen? How many civilizations don't exist anymore that existed at the same time as Ethiopia and China always have? So I think it's a testament to the strength of our people. I think it's a testament to the beauty of the culture, because as humans, if something doesn't resonate with us, we're going to get rid of it eventually. And so the fact that we've stayed, both China and Ethiopia, standing ourselves strong, is a beautiful thing. As for what we can take from a multicultural life and apply to ourselves, I think the biggest thing is open-mindedness. My family members are very different. Like, on one side of my family, I have Finns, very reserved, you know, very stoic, and then I have Ethiopians on the other side, and then I have China on one side, then I have America. And so for me, it was always important to see the qualities, the good qualities that each culture has, because there really is something to learn from everyone. And being a teacher, I feel like I'm actually more of a student than a teacher of life. I'm a student of life, and I teach children, and they're my teachers too. So I think it's very important to keep an open mind. I think it's important to also not compromise on the things that are important to you. While it is important to be open-minded, I think once you determine what your values are, you shouldn't let anyone try to encroach on those. Being here and seeing the division, it was really sad and it was really heartbreaking, and I think my main message would just be that diversity is beautiful and acknowledging our differences is very positive. However, we have way more in common as a collective than we do that separates us. So I think we need to focus on what we have in common. I think we need to find things that we can all rally around, positive causes that can bring us together. And I think we need to start looking at each other when we pass each other in the streets and remembering that we are brothers and sisters. At the end of the day, we're all connected.
The Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, has praised Ethiopia's Green Legacy initiative for its impressive skill and commitment to environmental sustainability. And in a recent interview with the Ethiopian news agency, Fayari Zumudi's, FAO's country representative in Ethiopia highlighted the initiative as a prime example of effective environmental stewardship and national leadership in addressing climate change. The FAO emphasized the importance of setting high goals to tackle global climate challenge and encouraged other nations to follow Ethiopia's lead.
I think the level of ambition that Ethiopia has taken, it shows serious commitment. It shows a full appreciation of the magnitude of the problem that the country, but also the entire world is facing. We need to have that level of ambition to make a difference and commitment, and it takes all of us, from leadership to the very least within the community, for all of us to be involved. So I think these are very good lessons in my view.
The country representatives stressed that while Ethiopia's tree planting efforts are commendable, it is equally important for communities, schools and institutions to focus on the care and survival of these trees. This ongoing commitment will help Ethiopia capitalize on the reforestation effort, including potential revenue from carbon credit and other ecological service.
This is a very important initiative. As FAO, we are fully in support of this initiative, and it will make a big difference because with time, as those trees mature, Ethiopia will be able to monetize or to gain monetary benefits through carbon credits. As you know, there is this whole move towards benefiting from forests that countries are looking after. Then they can get carbon credits and actually get income or revenue from monetizing those efforts.
Ethiopia has diligently pursued an annual planting of sapling under the Green Legacy initiative initiated by the Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed in the past 5 years. Ethiopia has also encouraged African countries to join its tree planting campaign through providing tree seedling. That's all we have. Today's update, but before I go, let's have a recap of the top stories once again. Hannah Almaz Ahadu says Ethiopia has a lot common collectively than that separates. And FAO encouraged nations to follow Ethiopia's footsteps to tackle impact on climate change. Thank you for tuning into ABC World, the voice of Pan-Africanism with the daily updates. It was me, Makrala. See you. Goodbye.